Hello and welcome to Island Outlook on this station of Connoisseur Media. I'm John Lynch, and this morning we are talking with Gerry Oakes and Ellen Leondis. They are from Swim Across America. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Thank you both so much for coming in, and let's just start with the obvious question. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Swim America is all about, and Swim Across America, and tell us what's going on with you guys.
Well, good morning, and thank you for inviting us in, John. Swim Across America is a national nonprofit. We represent the local committee, the Nassau Suffolk Committee of Swim Across America, and what we do is provide supervised, secure swimming events for families to raise money to fight cancer.
Okay.
We began this back in 2001, and it's an annual, it's a summer event, as you might imagine,
Sure.
Pools or open water.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of success. We've raised north of $15 million for our beneficiaries.
That's
we can talk about
fantastic.
them a little bit later.
Yeah.
And, this young lady to my right, Ellen Leondis, is captain of Team Stacy, and I'd like her to tell her story or where she is and how Team Stacy came about, but it's really how we all do what we do with Swim Across America, which is raise significant money to fight cancer.
Right. Well, that's great stuff. And Ellen, Gerry set you up, so why don't you tell us?
He certainly did.
Tell us a little bit about your family
yes.
and your involvement.
Thank you. We got involved with Swim Across America 18 years ago in memory of my daughter Stacy Rose Leondis. She passed away. She had a cancer called osteosarcoma.
Okay.
She was diagnosed when she was 16 and had a few recurrence. So she passed away when she was 23. So at that point in 2008, she passed. The next year, we started Team Stacy.
Right.
Our first year, we had 13 members, and we raised $35,000. And we thought that was amazing, which it was.
Absolutely.
But last year, and as the years have gone, we've grown. Last year, we had over 80 team members and raised over $327,000.
Wow. So,
yeah, altogether, we've raised over $3 million for the research. And we really have been funding, through Swim Across America, Dr. Richard Gorlick. He is at MD Anderson in Texas, and he is a leading researcher and doctor in the research of osteosarcoma.
Right.
It mainly affects children,
Right.
pediatrics. So, so that's where we are. And we have a goal, and we have a vision, and we will not stop until we get that cure.
Right,
We will
right.
continue.
Well, first, let me just say, obviously, very sorry for the loss
Thank
of
you,
your daughter.
John. Appreciate that.
A wonderful tribute that you and your family are doing in her memory. And I was reading some of the notes. She was going to medical school.
She was, she was on her way.
So that's, it's kind of amazing that, you're helping medical research in her name. That's a wonderful way to carry on her legacy.
Thank you. Yeah, when she was younger, when she was first diagnosed, she started her own foundation, and her goal was to hopefully no other families would go through what she went through and what we all went through. So she wanted to help. So now we're helping through her.
Right. No, that
she
is helping, and you guys are helping. That's amazing. Again, swimacrossamerica.org/NS will get you to the Nassau Suffolk page of the website. You can check out all the stuff that's going on. The swim is coming up August 1st, right?
Correct.
In Glen Cove, right? And so you can register on the website, obviously, or you can just make a donation if you can't come down, if you can't, get involved firsthand. If you just want to send some money to a great cause, you can do it right on the website, which is swimacrossamerica.org/NS for Nassau Suffolk County. So let's talk a little bit about putting a team together out there. Somebody, Ellen, maybe you could speak to that since you did the process. You mentioned how much your team has grown and the amount of money and the amount of people that are taking part of it. How did you get started with that?
I recruit wherever I go. I mean, I could be in the grocery store, I could be, anywhere, and I just, talk to somebody and ask. You don't have to swim. I never swam before this.
Okay.
And now I wouldn't say I'm a swimmer, but I can swim. They started a half a mile for the people who needed a little less than everyone else. But you can jog, you can walk, you can do whatever you want. It's with the SAA My Way, so it's a great morning. It's a morning full of hope and love, and everyone's in the same boat. Everyone wants to help, and everyone, unfortunately, has been affected by cancer.
Right,
So.
absolutely. Not everybody's in the same boat because some people are swimming. So,
Very good, very good.
That's why I get the big bucks here.
Very
and
good.
I'm going to knock wood a couple of times this morning, but say obviously August 1st we're hoping for great weather because obviously I know that's going to be key to what you guys are doing. So Gerry, let's talk a little bit about the organization and getting something together like this on a yearly basis. Obviously, it's a big chore to get everything organized and get everybody on the same page. So there's a lot of people, I'm sure, helping you guys out getting this to happen.
We have a large and active committee to do just that. It's led by Kevin Shine, a colleague of mine with Swim Across America for many years. We've been doing this for 25 years.
Right.
So I think we pretty much got it down.
You know what you're doing, yeah.
But it's a very intense, complicated process.
Right.
But again, we've been doing it for a while, and Kevin has a great team, including Pam Danbusky here, and it's a process, but we have it down so it's relatively straightforward every year. It might be a few new people,
right?
A few new twists and turns regarding the event,
right.
But they're very dedicated people, and one of the things that I'm very proud about is that the pillars of our committee, the people that do the stand-up jobs and are managers within the committee have been with us for 25 years.
Wow.
And so, like Ellen, the dedication is out of control. They all have, like Ellen, really big hearts. And this is their most important thing every summer.
Right.
And that's why we're successful, because of people like Pam and Ellen and Kevin. So we're very, very lucky to have a really solid volunteer group.
Right. So how many people you took place with the swim last year? About how many people were involved?
Well, I didn't see the numbers exactly, but I think in our information sheet here we mentioned the number 780 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a combination of the August 1 event, and we also do maybe 10 pool swims at various locations, around the island.
Okay.
And so, about 780 is about the right number, but we've had thousands and thousands of participants over the 25 years.
Right. And so the pool swims, obviously, if you're not a strong swimmer, that's a little better to be in a little bit of a controlled environment. That gives people an option, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also for the, our younger swimmers.
Sure.
That aren't open water swimmers will go to a particular country club or a public pool, and, they can sign up and swim their laps and make a big difference.
Right.
This is all about Ellen and myself and our committee wanting to make a real difference, given the amount of money Ellen has raised and the rest of us have raised, and given the number of our really first-class beneficiaries.
Right.
We have made a big, big difference over the years. Ellen casually mentioned Dr. Richard Gorlick. He is the preeminent pediatric bone researcher in the country and maybe even the world. He's currently the president of MD Anderson Children's Hospital, but he does a lot of specific research in regard to osteosarcoma on the side.
Right.
It's a particularly difficult cancer, really, to get your arms around, but Richard is doing the best that anybody in the world could do. And so that's an example of what we do. We have other beneficiaries at Sloan Kettering, Weill Cornell Cancer Center, Cold Spring Harbor Labs, the Feinstein Institute with Northwell in Manhasset. And so we fund the really premier researchers in particular areas.
Right.
And one of the things that was early on, we've had a long engagement with Memorial Sloan Kettering back into the early 90s. And we funded initial research. You've heard the term immunology,
Yes.
which is, a new way, to approach cancer. Maybe 25 years old now, but relatively a new way. And that research, the foundation for that research came out of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, funded by Swim Across America.
Right.
They had the first FDA-approved immunology drugs, follow-on drugs, drug combinations, all of which has led to where we are today, which is just about every research lab in the country and maybe the world is focused on expanding immunology.
Right.
And significant progress has been made. So I say that because that's what Ellen and I do. We want to make a difference. We don't do this for jollies. We do
Right.
this to really make a difference. And the funding that we receive goes directly to support the research, very high-level research at these institutions.
Right.
And so we approve projects. We don't just give money to Sloan. We give money to specific doctors for specific projects.
Right.
And we've had a lot of success. So we're very proud of that. But the big thing is we can really make a difference that the swimmers can really identify with.
Right, and here on Long Island, there are so many great research facilities and so many great, medically we're very lucky in this part of the country to have access to a lot of wonderful doctors and other professionals in the industry. And you talk about this research, and we all know that if depending on an election, research can get cut from the government, and you can't count on everything. It really comes down to the people helping out and getting money into these researchers' hands, because that's what fuels the research, and that's what fuels the search for a cure. Without the cash, there is no research
Right.
and no
Absolutely.
developments.
We have a kind of a very specific business plan. What we try to do, first off, the money that we raise, we try to keep locally if possible. Richard Gorlick used to be in the metropolitan area, and he moved, 7 or 8 years ago down to MD Anderson. And so we thought so highly of him, we wanted to continue the funding for his particular lab.
Sure.
But what we do, the big research money in cancer comes from the government. To get to that stage, you have to have more than proof of concept. You have to have multiple clinical trials.
Right.
It's a very, very big deal. What Swim Across America tries to do in each community is identify the best scientists that have projects that haven't made the stage where you need to be to get government funding.
Right.
And so we also fund younger scientists with brand new projects, which again, they don't have any government funding. And so we have had a success with that business model across the country. There was one doctor from Sloan Kettering who runs the solid tumor lab there. His name's Luis Diaz. And what he did in the last 5 years with his team, they were working on colorectal cancer, which is a particularly difficult cancer.
Right.
And he expanding the immunotherapy project into his lab. He took, I think, 13 patients that were stage 4 terminal with no further options.
Right.
And he used his experimental drugs on them. And 13 out of 13 were cured.
Wow.
Now, that's a little bit crazy. Maybe it's a lot crazy,
yeah.
but it made headline news around the world.
Sure.
And he's continuing to do that with colorectal cancer patients, again, on the immunotherapy thought process,
Right.
and they're expanding it for colorectal cancer. So those are the sort of things we try to find and help fund before they become very big
Right.
and successful, because then it's obviously government money.
It's like funding a startup almost in a business. kind
Well,
of thing,
yeah.
in a
I
way,
mean,
for
it's a
research.
startup, but you're
Yeah.
starting with the best of the best from a research
Right.
point of view,
Sure.
and the best and most likely projects. It's always a like in anything else, it's a triage as to where the money goes, because there's so many, as you mentioned, there's so many researchers here on Long Island
Right.
that would all love money
Sure.
from a lot of
Sure.
nonprofits, not only Swim Across America, but so we have a professional colleague, an oncologist from Yale Medical Center, that vets all of our projects. So we're just silly, emotional swimmers that raise money, but we have on board serious professionals to help direct it to the right place.
Right. We are talking this morning with Gerry and Ellen from Swim Across America. Again, the website is swimacrossamerica.org/NS for Nassau Suffolk County. The swim coming up August 1st in Glen Cove. If you want to take part, if you want to register, go to the website. You can make a donation if you can't be there on August 1st. Ellen, I do want to get back to a little bit of with your family's experience with taking part with the swim specifically. A lot of the people who are taking part in this are probably been through similar situations that you and your family have been on, and there's it's not a fun day. It is a fun day, but there's a camaraderie there, right?
100%. Every team, every member, everyone who comes down that morning has the same goals and the same hope. It's really a beautiful, beautiful morning. If anybody is listening and they just want to, be surrounded by some love and some real caring, it's a great morning. Everyone is in the same boat. Everyone wants to help, and there's so many different ways you can help. And every dollar does count. You don't have to give, a lot of money. You can give whatever you can, and it goes to real perfect research. It's a beautiful morning.
Right. And so could you walk through, like, somebody listening, if they do want to get a team together? Like, obviously, step one is just going to the website.
Go to the website, click. It's very easy. All the buttons are right there. You can click. You can make a team, get some friends to come out, get your family. I have 2 other children. They've captained this Team Stacy for 18 years, and they get their friends. They get,
that's great.
Colleagues. So, yeah, you can do it.
Right.
You can do it.
So that's the first step, obviously, is going to the website, clicking on the register button, and getting a team together and, helping a cause. I think probably everybody listening right now has known somebody or a friend or a family member or themselves who have gone through a cancer diagnosis, and unfortunately, it hasn't gone away yet. But if we're going to make it go away, this is one of the first steps you could take.
Exactly.
One thing I would say, again, what Ellen and her family have done is miraculous, and the important thing is this event is not a competitive swim. So if someone's listening and thinks, well, I didn't swim in high school, I didn't swim in college, how could I do this?
Right.
We have different staged events for different strength of swimmers.
Right.
And so you don't have to be a high school swimmer. You can be a weekend swimmer, at your local public pool or club or what have you.
Right.
And so, it's really a perfect organization for families like Ellen's to get together as a group and work together to raise a lot of money and make a big difference. But again, you don't have to be, a significant swimmer, if you will.
Right.
This is a family event.
You won't be shamed.
You won't be shamed. There's no stopwatches there.
Right.
It's very safe. We have a 1 mile course right off the beach in Glen Cove at Prible Beach. And we have, I think, 25 to 30 Jones Beach lifeguards on paddleboards and jet skis. It's the safest place in Long Island Sound that morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no worry about your security. If you have a problem, you raise your hand.
Right.
And a lifeguard will be over, within seconds. So it's a very secure course. If you're tired and you just, thought you could swim farther than you really could, you raise your hand. A Jones Beach lifeguard will be over, will pick you up. It's okay.
Right.
There's no stopwatch. There's no heat on anybody other than to go out there and have as much fun possible swimming and enjoy the day and be proud of what you've done to get there for the day and the money you've raised to fight cancer.
Right. And it's a beautiful beach, too.
It's very pretty.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful area there. We are talking about Swim Across America, and again, the website is swimacrossamerica.org/NS. Gerry, I know you did want to mention some of the sponsors who are helping you guys out, too.
Well, we have corporate sponsors. I know Ridgewood Savings Bank is a big sponsor. I don't have the list in front of me. It's on the T-shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
but we have corporate sponsors.
I can hold the T-shirt up for you. If you want. They have very cool
T-shirts. the other T-shirt.
I'm going to hold the T-shirt up, and you can read.
I got it. There we go.
You got it. Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Amphimol.
Yeah. Delta.
Pacoa. Fashi Construction, Morgan Stanley, Silverite, on and on. Prime Catering, Captivate, Heritage. We've got a lot, and there are different categories. The idea is that our corporate sponsors help us defray our expenses. There are expenses to run an event. We try to keep them at a minimum, but there are expenses, and people ask, well, what's your expense ratio? How much money actually goes to where it's supposed to go?
Right.
And over the 25 years, our number is 80%.
That's a pretty good number
of our money goes directly to our researchers, and 20% is to fund the event.
Right.
And you got to pay for lifeguards somehow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And T-shirts, too.
Yeah.
No.
With the sponsors' names on them,
it's wonderful that these, all of these various corporations help us out a little bit here, a little bit there.
Right.
They're part of the team.
Right. And how did you get involved with the organization originally, Gerry?
Does he really want to hear all this? Like everybody else, well, maybe not everybody, but I lost my parents to cancer. Mm-hmm. And in the late 90s, my next-door neighbor was battling cancer, throat cancer, esophageal cancer. And I wanted to help a little bit, and I'd been a swimmer all my life, and I had heard about Swim Across America. So they were going to have an event. This was July of 2000 up in Larchmont, and my good friend Pam and I trucked up to Westchester to swim in a 5K swim, a 3-mile swim, and it was wonderful. And they had been in business at that point about 8 years. And, I just looked around and I said, we have as much cancer on Long Island, and I think we have as much water.
Yeah.
And so, I was a member of a master's swim team. And so I knew a lot of swimmers and a lot of good people, that were in the same boat that I was in, which is I'd like to help, but I don't really know how.
Sure, yeah.
So I just decided we can do this. And so I recruited a number of people, friends, other swimmers, and we set out, to make this work. And the real reason it worked is because we were fortunate enough to be invited by the city of Glen Cove to hold our events there. And initially we held our events at Morgan Park, which is in the north east corner of Hempstead Harbor with the beach facing the Sound. And it was beautiful. But Glen Cove, the city of Glen Cove, has been a partner with Swim Across America for 25 years. And Tribal Beach, where we swim now, which is on the same coastline, maybe 6 miles east, again, we're the guest of the city of Glen Cove. So it's really a matter of getting individuals together, getting swimmers together, getting corporate sponsors together with the city of Glen Cove. And, we all go out there one morning in a crazy hour when the sun isn't up and, let's make this happen.
Right. What time does it start?
Well, I think we're in the water at 7.
Okay, so that's pretty early.
But we're also there at 5.
Right. You got to set up.
For many years, I was there at 4, just managing things. But that said, it's just a lot of fun. It's like it's just one of those days. You put the day aside, and the alarm goes off, and out you go.
Right.
It's a beautiful morning.
Right. No, that sounds so cool. And again, I'm going to knock wood for good weather on August 1st for you guys, because obviously, you want a nice sunny day for the people. And Gerry, you mentioned it. People forget the Long Island. They forget the island part because we do have these beautiful beaches and a lot of great water. So it's cool that the people of Glen Cove and the town, connecting with you guys, because the Long Island is about the beaches, about the water, about we have a fisherman history here on Long Island. So it's kind of cool that Swim Across America should have been here first, probably before any other city. So it really is cool that it's got such a very Long Island feel, even though it's a national organization.
Yeah, no, we're very happy and we're very fortunate to have good partners, and we're all in this together. And every year, it's a high energy level that morning.
Right. From
our volunteers, who I mentioned, most of our senior volunteers have been with us on the committee for 25 years, which I find amazing.
Right.
And they're amazing people. And then, families like the Leondis family and swimmers and non-swimmers. As Ellen mentioned, you don't have to be a swimmer. It might be a little more fun if you're a swimmer, but, we need serious, focused volunteers too. And because we all work together, we get it done. And Kevin Shine is the leader of our committee, and he works hard every year to coordinate things with all of our colleagues, and we have a great day. But we're a little tired at the end of the day. It's a great day.
It's a good tired though, right? Because you definitely. Now, if somebody listening right now wanted to become a volunteer with Swim Across America, how would they go about that?
That's also available on the website that Ellen mentioned. They're like any other website. There's various buttons.
Yeah.
You go to swimacrossamerica.org, and it will bring you to our page. And on the page, there'll be buttons to push if you would like to volunteer.
Right, and they do, as you mentioned, it is Swim Across America. There are events across the country. So people here on Long Island obviously want to take part in August 1st, but if you got friends and families in other parts of the country, you could probably find a swim for them to take part in pretty close, as long as they're near water.
That's right.
Or near a pool, anyway.
Or a pool.
Or a pool.
If you go to just swimacrossamerica.org, without the NS. That will bring you to our national page. And then I think there's a drop-down menu that will have open water swims, and you click that button. It will show you all of the committees across the country.
Right.
Now, a lot of them have already had swims, as you might imagine, but we have swims up through the fall.
Right.
But all over the country. And we swim in lakes in various interior states.
Sure, yeah.
You know, we swim in Boston Harbor. We swim in Lake Michigan. We swim in San Francisco Harbor Bay, I guess.
Right.
So we're and then we got pool swims everywhere.
That's great.
So, you know, if somebody would like to get involved, you know, if they go to that page, they can find a swim near them.
Right. We just have a couple of minutes left. So Ellen, we'll start with you. You want to give like a final statement to everybody out there?
Yeah, I would say that what Gerry said, you do not have to be a swimmer to come down for Swim Across America. Most of our team, I'll speak for our team, and probably most of the teams, they're not swimmers. It's just people who want to help and have a wonderful morning and do whatever they can for cancer research.
Right. And Gerry?
You know, we're one of many not-for-profits on Long Island that raise significant money for cancer.
Right.
The American Cancer Society with the Real Life for Life, and
Sure.
there are other events. So we're the swimming event. You know, we don't have any competition in a very large way.
Right.
So we're an event for swimmers who would really like to make a difference, have a lot of fun doing it, you know, and maybe like Ellen, you know, have a family reunion at the same time.
Right. No,
So it's just a fun day where you can be assured that your efforts are very, very valuable, and you can, as an individual swimmer, have a lot of fun and make a significant difference.
Right. Well, Ellen, Gerry, thank you so much for coming in, and and Pam too, who wasn't on mic today, but Pam is here from Swim Across America as well. And again, the event is coming up August 1st in Glen Cove. You can go to swimacrossamerica.org/NS. As Gerry mentioned, if you just want to check out the organization overall, you can just go to swimacrossamerica.org, find out about all the stuff they're doing across the country. You can register, you can donate, you can do your part to help out. And again, thank you all so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you, John.
By the way, John, one other thing, if I could just add, we have this program called Swim Your Way.
Okay.
So for swimmers that, for example, can't make it August 1st, you know, I had planned to at the last minute, they can't be there. You know, they can swim locally in their local pool. They can swim anywhere. I'm famous for saying that, you know, if you'd like, you can count your bathtub, just send the checks.
Right.
Just do the laps in the bathtub. Absolutely.
Yeah, send the checks.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So again, August 1st is the main date, but as Gerry said, you know, you can make your own date. Do your own thing too, and
You can.
do it with your family. Do it in your own backyard if you're so inclined. And again, the website is swimacrossamerica.org/NS to find out about everything going on August 1st. Again, thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank you.
John, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Island Outlook on this station of Connoisseur Media, Long Island. I'm John Lynch. If you have a subject you'd like to suggest for Island Outlook, send us an email at news@connoisseurli.com.